Welcome back to Fickle Sports. It's a brand new season and we're doing Fantasy Premier League. Thank you, CupperTea, for suggesting this video because we've been hesitating about it, but we're more than ready this time.
Yes, that being said, this is 4 years in the making. Gary and I have been going at it in Fantasy Premier League head to head for the last 4 years. And this time, what we thought, we'd make you a video that brings you us reviewing how we performed in our prior game week, as well as previewing the changes we're making going into the next game week. And any tips we have, we're going to include that as well. We also, as we usually do, but this time we're going to let you guys in on it. We're doing a competition.
Now, a box of Krispy Kremes is on the line. Are we sponsored by Krispy Kremes? No. Do we wish we were? Yes, absolutely.
I was about to say, not yet.
Now, a box of Krispy Kremes is on the line for the 1st of January. Whoever has more points by the 1st of January gets that box of Krispy Kremes. And we're going to decide what the second punishment or prize is for the final game week of the year. Now let's get into it. Alex is going to finally reveal his team, which I know he's been working on for weeks on end, and I'm gonna pick apart his team. Okay. I'm feeling more confident. Now that you got David Luiz in that damn team, I'm really confident. And you got Gomez. Wow, you haven't got any of the Liverpool fullbacks. Ooh, interesting. You got the man, Danny Ings, Timo Werner. Everyone I know has got Timo Werner, but I know Chelsea have got good fixtures coming up, but they don't know anything about Timo Werner other than he played well in the Bundesliga. Mason Mount, Mane captain. Interesting. He went for Mane. Okay, I'm feeling very confident. Alex? Do you want to go reveal what on earth you were thinking picking his team?
Okay, so this is where I'm going to let you guys in. I'm being brave with this one. Okay.
Yeah, you are being brave. I'll give you that.
This selection that I've made is purely for this game week. I'm actually fully intending to use my wild card in a second game week.
Oh my god!
I know
that's controversial.
The reason why is what I like to do is sometimes, or a lot of the times, form can be rolled over from one season to another. So I like to see how our teams finished the season prior, and then try to include players that were on good form in my first game week. Now, obviously, teams that would be used are Manchester United and Manchester City, but their first games have been postponed because of their extended run in European competitions. Which is why, as you can see, my team has no United players and no City players. This 11 is purely for this game week. I need everyone this game week to perform because they're only in there.
You're putting all your eggs in that one game week basket. I admire it, but I don't think it's.
Well, that's why you have David Luiz in there against Fulham. Surely, like a newly promoted team, Luiz can hold out.
I'm very conflicted. Obviously, I support Arsenal, but I kind of want David Luiz to get a red card now.
I did have Trent Alexander-Arnold, but Gomez was 2 million cheaper, and he allowed me to purchase more expensive options further up the pitch. Saka was also another good cheap option. He only came in at 5.5 million. I did have Willian there before. Havertz has only been at Chelsea for a handful of days, which is why I don't think he will start. I think Mount, who was ever present in the Chelsea team last season, I think he will start, which is why he's in there. 7 million as well for one game week. I can deal with that. Son, I did have Ali in there, but I managed to make a bit of money off of the Saka and Gomez deals, and that's why Son is in there. And we have Mane as between him and Salah. I prefer Mane, and that's why he's got the captain against newly promoted Leeds. And Ings and Vardy, I mean, they're fantasy Premier League legends. I don't need to explain why they're in there. If you don't know,
Danny Ings, 22 goals last season. Vardy, top of he won the Golden Boot with 23. Pretty impressive.
Oldest player ever to do it. So that's why they're in there. And Werner, you are right. He is an unknown quantity, but I do think he will start. And I do think that Brighton, they're not an easy team, but if you look at the other teams that are playing, they're the easier of the bunch. I could have maybe gone with Kane, but Kane hasn't really had a pre-season, even though I think Kane will start because Tottenham don't have a backup striker. But I think Chelsea versus Brighton is slightly... Brighton are a slightly easier team to play than Everton.
I will say this about Harry Kane. I think he traditionally starts the season quite slow, right?
Yeah, there was that ongoing thing. I think he managed to correct it last season, but he refused to score in August.
And even in the restart that came, that I know was coming back from an injury, but he started slow again. He looked quite clunky coming into it. I mean, although he did score a bit coming back. So you just don't know with Harry Kane.
I think with Kane, he's one of them players where he doesn't have that natural fitness, so it does take him a little bit to get to full form, to get to full fitness. Rooney had the same issue, they don't have that like kind of natural fitness. So I think 100% right. Kane maybe should be left alone as he is a starter. To cap it off, or basically my whole bench, because as I said, this is only for one game week, but they're all the cheapest options. Although I will say that my one little recommendation, now I don't actually think that he should be in there from the start. I'll explain why later. But Johnson for West Ham, at the moment, their number one right back is Ryan Friedrichs. But Johnson got a few games under Moyes towards the tail end of last season. He played well. At the moment, he's one of the cheapest fullbacks, so his price might be seeing increase if he gets a few games for West Ham.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But the shock of that is, yes, I am using my wild card as soon as game week 1 is done.
He says that he might putty out by the time it comes around.
Can't be ruled out. But enough about my team. It's time to reveal Gary's team. Here we go. I'm opening it now. Let's have a look.
He's gonna love it.
Oh, look at this. This is disgusting.
Why? What's wrong with my team?
Oh, you've gone for Ryan. He got quite a few points last season.
9 clean sheets. I mean, I had to go cheap with the goalkeeper.
You're clearly hoping that Sheffield United's defence holds up as it did last season, and you went big with the fullbacks.
I did go very big with the fullbacks.
That's a lot of money you've put into the defence there.
They are worth every penny.
I'm glad that you've got your Arsenal head with Aubameyang and Saka, because your team finished 8th last season. So
it's not about where the team finishes, it's where your fantasy league team finishes. Okay, let's just get that sorted.
You went with Salah, as no one can probably afford Mane and Salah, so it is a choice between the two. You've got Son as well. He is a very good player to have, Son, isn't he? Goals and assists almost guaranteed. Ings, so you put a lot of your money into to the defence.
Yeah. Why not? Look, let me go through my team, okay?
Go on, you go for it.
Trent Alexander-Arnold does not need. There's no explanation why that man is in anyone's team. He has redefined the fullback role. He's a legend, a future Hall of Famer. Got to keep it in above 200 points almost every season. And same thing with Andrew Robertson. Trent Alexander-Arnold got 13 assists and 4 goals. Robertson got 1 less assist and 2 less goals. That's still pretty amazing. And
yeah, it's not bad. So
yeah, no, I mean, and you look at midfielders and forwards, right? Say Mane or Salah at 12 million, they're gonna get 200 and something points, 220, 230. Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, they got 180 points, nearly 200 points, both at 7.5 million. That's why I kept going back to picking these two in my team, and I'm going 3-4-3. I'm going all out. The rest of the defenders I don't care about. Stevens, 13 clean sheets. I'm hoping that they can continue that. He contributed to 6 goals as well, so that is my back line. Aubameyang finished with 22 goals. This Arsenal team look like they're on the way up, and he's the only player to score goals on that Arsenal team, so I'm going for Aubameyang. Salah, you know what? I thought Mane was the better player in Liverpool's team last season, but Salah still finished above Mane with more points. So That's why I went with Salah. He's not going to get to the 2017-18 level where he scored like something like 32 goals, which was the most ridiculous thing ever. And Son Heung-min, right? I need Tottenham cover. As much as it hurts me, you know, Tottenham have a very, very easy run of games for the first 5 games. You know how I know that? You haven't heard a peep out of Mourinho. You haven't heard a single thing. Usually he likes to complain about the fixtures when it comes out, but he hasn't complained one bit, which is why they've got Everton at home, Southampton away, Newcastle at home, Man United away, and then West Ham at home. So I needed Tottenham cover, and I think...
just to let you know that there is going to be a Mourinho moment incoming, because we're playing something like 42 games in September. So you say that, I'm just warning you now.
It's going to happen, but at least it didn't happen for the when the fixtures came out.
Why are you gone with Ayew? That one surprises me.
Well, to be honest, I went big on my midfield, which, you know, thinking about it, Aubameyang, Salah, and Son, they're basically strikers, and I still got Ings as the out-and-out striker, similar to you. But Ayew, he's a cheap option. It's either gonna be him or Zaha who scores the goals for Crystal Palace, and he had a decent end to the season as well. So got 9 goals, 3 assists. I'm not saying he's the best. If he hits form, basically out of Mitrovic and Ayew, I want the Timo Pukki factor at the beginning of the season. And once they get that for me, I'm done. I'm done with them, because I can't get anything out of them.
So are you looking to bring in the United and City players when they return, or is this your actual team? Are you going to be sticking to with this for a while, just tweaking it?
I'll bring in... No, I'm not going to reveal who I'm going to bring in, actually. But as in, yeah...
Man City, save it for the game week, fair.
Yeah, I'm not going to reveal. Otherwise, you'll have too much information on my team. But this is my team for game week 1.
Okay, well, that is it. That is our official starting lineups. As with every video we do going forward, we're going to round this up with a few tips that we've kind of picked up whilst doing our selections. Most of them we've already said. I have a tip for you. My tip for this week is avoid West Ham players. And I know I said have Johnson in, but have Johnson in as a sub. But I would say avoid West Ham players like the plague. And the reason is twofold. One, I don't know if you guys have been keeping an eye on what's been going on at West Ham, but a lot of shit has been going down at West Ham. They're very unhappy with the sale of Diagana. Moyes is unhappy. Mark Noble, their captain, has even come out and spoken against the sale of Diagana. So it all looks quite bad. They also haven't signed anyone yet. And the other reason I say this, their first game is against Newcastle, which is not the toughest game, but I wouldn't say there's a lot more harder games up there. After the Newcastle game, this is what their run looks like: Arsenal, Wolves, Leicester City, Tottenham, Man City, Liverpool.
Pretty rough.
There is no point having any West Ham players in your team until November. Ooh. That is my tip for game week 1.
Oof, okay. My tip, it's I would probably put in some Chelsea defenders, maybe. Like, I went big on Trent and Robertson, but if you don't put them in, go for some Chelsea defenders, because they've got a very, very nice run of games. For Chelsea's opening fixtures, they're away to Brighton. I know they've got Liverpool at home, but they're away to West Bromwich Albion, and then they're home to Crystal Palace and to Southampton. So, you know, you could start off with Chelsea players, and if you keep them for about 4 or 5 game weeks, they could pick up some clean sheets. So I would look at Azpilicueta or Alonso as the players to bring in.
And that is it for our first Fantasy Premier League video. Do let us know whose team you prefer. Also, let us know who's in your team and any tips that you may have. And lastly, as always, if you're new, do subscribe. But also, thank you to our current subscribers. We really appreciate it.